All right. So we got a couple people in. I got my chat over here. Welcome. I hope everybody is in their bed, in their pajamas. This is the second live stream for the Build in Bed project. We are trying to raise money. All that information should be down in the description of this video. I think, let's see here. I don't know how to get there exactly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's all down there. Yeah, links to the GoFundMe page for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and all that good stuff. Yeah, we're there. We're getting going. Got a couple people on board now with us. All right. So yeah, today we're going to be doing that. We're going to be trying to raise money. At the end, I'm going to announce just a small little raffle. Yeah, so for right now, we're going to start building this. Today we're going to be building the Lego Creator Set Sunshine Surf Van 31079. Yeah, so this is exciting. Like I said, we're trying to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, I didn't bring my knife in here, which I always have my knife with me, so I'm just going to have to go at this like a crazy person. But, yeah, so, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the charity page by GoFundMe is directly linked to theirs, so they will have all the, they will get all the money. It won't be going through anybody else's hands. I'm noticing now in my little video over here that you can kind of see one of my light stands. So I'm going to try to... Whoa! Okay! Alright. Alright. Starting out... Starting out on a good note. Alright. Let's try to fix that real quick. Alright. Okay, so that was kind of crazy. That was not meant to happen. But yeah, so today I'll be building this Sunshine Surf Van. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, like I said before, Build in Bed project, raising money for sick kids. We're trying to raise $1,000 in the next couple of weeks, really. Hopefully, who knows? We'll see how long it takes, but hopefully, you know, no longer than a month, so we can raise money for another charity. That's the goal here, and yeah, that's where we want to go with this. Like I said, yeah, at the end here, I'm going to be announcing a raffle, and anybody who's watching, the raffle will probably go till, I don't know, let's say the end of the month. So the 28th will draw a name for that, but yeah, I'll announce that way at the end. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about acceptance. Last time we kind of went over my philosophies on life and just love in general and how it's important to show everybody love and make sure that you tell the people that are important to you in your life how important they are, and that. So this week's live video, our topic is going to be acceptance and how important it is to make people feel accepted, even if you disagree with them a little bit on something. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, like, you know, a racist is a racist. Hateful people are hateful people, so I'm not saying to agree with these people or to go along with it, but I think most of the people that are going to be watching understand what I'm saying when I say it's important to not judge people on, you know, the color of their skin or the, you know, their disabilities or what's going on in their lives or the way they look or their religion. You know, all of these things are really important to keep in mind. We all have differing opinions of what this means and what it means to be a human, and these things don't hurt anybody. Your opinions on religion and your opinions on or your opinions on religion or your race or these things, it doesn't hurt anybody to be different from the rest of us. But when it comes down to things that inspire hate and all that, that's when things get a little questionable. And so again, I'm not talking about accepting everybody everybody's thoughts on this or that. What I'm saying is we need to not judge people on things that they can't control, like sicknesses and all this and race. Those are all things nobody can control. However, not liking a certain race of people is a choice. So that is what I'm saying. I am absolutely mumbling, but anybody who has watched a lot of these or any of my stuff knows I just do that anyway. So what it all comes down to is just general respect and love for your fellow man, and that's why we're trying to raise money to make sure that sick children, have some dignity. Their parents don't have to worry as much about the financial side of things, and that's where we're coming from. We're not trying to we're not trying to be Superman here. We're just trying to relieve a little bit of the pressure on people that are making a difference in kids' lives, and so that's what we're here for today. Back to what I was talking about, though, acceptance. It's really important to accept everybody, to make sure that we're not looking at anybody in a negative light for silly reasons. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, what does it matter if I'm one religion and you're another religion? It doesn't. We love each other because we're neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. And I'm very it's really important to me that when I meet somebody that's different than me, to get all the facts about what they think and what they believe, and figure out who they are, because it's really important. It's not nobody's gonna have the same opinions on things. Nobody's gonna have the same life in general. It's everybody lives within the same time, but your experiences can differ so much. And that's like one of the most interesting parts to me about being human, is that you can literally live across town from somebody. You can literally live 10 minutes from somebody your whole entire life and have 100% different experience than them. So what this all really comes down to, like my last video, is love. You got to make sure that the people in your life and that the people that are around you feel love, so they don't act out in a negative way. And that's really what it comes down to. Is a lot of people are like, oh, why are these people protesting, or why are these people upset about this or that? Well, it's because you feel, when you feel marginalized, and when people have constantly put you down and have constantly put the group of people that you are around down, it becomes much easier to become bitter, and it becomes a lot harder to show the love and gratitude that is so important. And so that's again my love everybody. Do whatever you can to help people. It's not it's very important to me to make sure all my neighbors know that I'll do whatever it takes to help them, and in return, I've been so successful at having people help me in return, because I have gone out of my way to make people feel accepted, and that I have a sign on my front lawn that says, it doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak or anything. I'm glad that you're my neighbor. And that's very true. I don't, it's really, I've only been asked negative in a negative light about it once, and I kind of explained it to the person, and they didn't necessarily come away with a better understanding of me or my community, but they came away at least knowing that in this community we all love each other and that we all have each other's back. And so that's important. But yeah, so acceptance. It's one of the most important things, and not looking down on people for silly things that they can't they can't change is just, I mean, it's silly. What's the point in that? Like, I would rather have a friend than somebody I have to avoid any day. And the older I get, the older people get, it's harder and harder to make friends and to find people. And so the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to just be a positive light. Just tell somebody you care about them. Tell your neighbor that whatever they need, you have their back. Tell your friends that. Make sure that everybody in your life that you care about knows how much you actually care about them. And that'll change the world. That neighbors helping neighbors, because we're all each other's neighbor down the line. It doesn't matter where we're from. Eventually we're connected. Maybe it's over hundreds and hundreds of miles, but you go house to house and we're all just neighbors in the end. So as silly as that sounds, I truly believe that. Sometimes I don't know if these translucent pieces are reds or oranges or yellows. They're hard to tell in the book, but I think that's an orange. Anyhow, how's everybody doing? Off my shtick for a minute. I'm gonna stop mumbling about this until, not until anything. I just hope people have input and want to, add to the conversation. Any experiences, any advice you need, anything like that, I'm here for you. Got a couple people live on here with me, and I very, very much appreciate that. Again, we're trying to raise money for sick kids, so anybody that we can get on here, anybody that you can pull over even to view in front of your own screen, like that all helps. We're trying to raise money for sick kids here. We're trying to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and again at the end we're gonna do a raffle tied in with the GoFundMe page. So yeah. Let me know how everybody's feeling, how everybody's week has been. It's been a whole week since we've last chatted, since I've last live streamed. Let me know what I can do to, make these videos more interesting and make you want to watch them and make people want to recommend these videos to their friends. I hope not too many people see me knock the camera and stuff over, though. That was kind of embarrassing. So today is my dog's birthday. Today is my little puppy Kang. She is 2 years old today. After we get done here, we're gonna go get her little puppy cupcakes and puppy ice cream cones and treats and new toys, and we're gonna have a puppy birthday party for her. We're very excited about it. We love our girls so much, and we have two little rescue dogs from Mexico, and yeah, they're my absolute favorite little girls. I absolutely love them, and I think in the last live stream, Kodos got in here. She's my older of the two dogs. Yeah, she's fantastic. This whole last week, I've been fighting a sinus infection, so it hasn't really been that awesome for me, honestly. It's just, yeah, it's really stank, and I've just not found the time to go to the doctor and this and that. So I had some antibiotics from the last time that I got sick, and took those, and so fingers crossed that works. But um, yeah, it's just I'm so freaked out about going to the doctor right now because when my back got thrown out, I just got the bill for that, and even with insurance, I pay over $4,000 for insurance a year. And this is another reason I'm doing this is because in America, health insurance is crazy. It's absolutely insane. I pay over $400 a month. I pay about $400 a month, and I pay over almost 5 grand a year for health insurance. And I went to the doctor for 3.5 hours. Got one muscle relaxer injection. Got one pain pill, and they tested my urine for I think a hernia or something like that. Sorry for if that's too much information. And the bill came back, and we owe them $1,000 for that, even with my insurance that I pay almost 5 grand for a year. Um, Even with all of that, I owe them $1,000, and so I'm just freaked out about going to the doctor in general. I'm not trying to like go, broke because I'm sick. That's just a crazy thing. Oh, I absolutely pamper my dogs. I absolutely love those girls. Me and my wife do not have any children, so those are like our little kids. And any parents that might watch this, don't think I'm comparing. I'm not comparing raising dogs to raising kids. I'm just saying my dogs right now are like my kids because everything that I love them so much. It's ridiculous, and people that know me and people that have been around me with my dogs know I'll pretty much do anything for them and act like they're my literal children, which is silly, but I love them so much. They're just such a bright light in my life. They have brought, my mental health just has been so good since those dogs have been in it. And I've had my one dog for like 2.5 years, and I've had my other girl for about a year and a half. And they're both little Mexican rescue dogs. They were found on the streets. Well, one of them, his mom was found on the street, and then she had her in foster care. So she's a little, she has never really known the hard life. And my other dog, Kang, the one whose birthday is today, she was found with severe mange at death's door, and the rescue found her and brought her in and started her treatment, and then they like had to get her over here to America to get her all the way better. And so we got her over. We brought her over little before I think they were supposed to, but we brought her over and cleared up that mange, and me and my wife got her, about three weeks to a month before that process was done. So the first, month or so of having her, we were having to give her these medicated baths and just, making sure she was very healthy. But because she was found in such poor condition, and because she was, such a little tiny thing who just had so many problems, we had to really try to bond with her in, one of her sickest times. And it really, in the long run, it helped the relationship between us and Kang because she really wanted to be comforted, but she was so scared. And we really had to make sure we were training her in the right way. For weeks I would just get down on the floor, and she would get really close, and she'd just start wiggling and wiggling and wiggling and wiggling, and she would get so excited, and then she would pee because she was terrified. She was so excited, and then she got so nervous. The closer she got to being touched, the closer she got to being handled by a person, just because of how bad of shape she was in when they found her. She would just, have accidents. She would have little nervous accidents, and so it was like 4 weeks of me getting down on the floor and her getting close and wiggling, and then I realized the more she wiggled and the more I wiggled back at her. So I would be down there and I would be wiggling and she would be wiggling and we'd be looking at each other. And slowly but surely, she stopped peeing every time she got within fingers tip reach of me and started coming closer to me. That turned into what we call Kang's little hugs, which I get down on my knees and kind of sit straight up, and she comes and she puts her paws here, and that's her, like, when she gets really nervous, she'll come up to me and kind of ask me for that, because that is how we ended up making her less nervous. I would get down and I would wiggle back at her and she would wiggle at me, and it was just this constant back and forth between me and her and my wife, trying to get down and make her comfortable enough to come to us. And finally she was able to get to us, and then she would put her paws up and hug me, and I would just scratch her down, and it and that, yeah, so when she gets really nervous still, which she is a very nervous girl all the time still, but she does a lot better than she used to. She will, when she gets nervous, she will come and ask me to come down to her level so she can hug me and I can scratch her back and she can push her face into mine. And so yeah, like I said, I'm not comparing dog ownership to child rearing, but my dogs are like my kids because I absolutely adore them. And yeah, the most wiggles. It was such a trying time, just trying to get her to come to us, and then when she finally was able to get over her fear and actually come to us, it was just so heartwarming, because that's just what she needed. She just she was found very sick, and we handled her a lot because she had to get baths, and but we couldn't like let her around the other dog as much, and so it was a really amazing experience to help this little puppy girl go from this scared of everything little cute dog to an animal that can go up and ask to be pet and stuff. Like, she's really great. Maybe at the end of the video I'll try to get her to come in the room. She's terrified. Like I said, she's scared of so many things. She is terrified of all the big lights and my camera and stuff. And I'm very grateful that she wasn't in here when I knocked the camera and stuff over, because that would have been it. If she was in here and that happened, she would probably never come within 10 feet of this room again, because that's how she is. If something is that scary to her, she avoids it like the plague. Like, even when we had to, like I said, we had to completely change the way we train, because like with our other dog, she was a rescue as well, and she was a rescue from like the same town in Mexico, but she was her mom was rescued, and so she was born into foster care, so she was born into that luxurious life. But Kang wasn't. So so yeah, if something terrifies her, she avoids it. So okay, well, yeah, that's what I was saying. We had to completely change the way that we train people, because Kodos, you can just put that stern voice on and say a command in that stern voice, and she'll listen and she'll come, and she knows that means, oh no, I messed up. And so like when I come home, if she's like chewed up a pillow or something, I'll be like, no ma'am, and she will get upset and come try to apologize. However, with Kang, since she is so scared, and since she's such a just such a silly girl, even that is too scary for her, and that's something I take with me interacting with humans. because we all have different experiences. Being out in the world is scary to some people and it's not to other people. So it's you gotta be gentle with people. People are just like animals. At the base level of existence, we crave each other's attention. We crave being around other people, but it's also really easy to get scared and not know how to act in certain situations. And so with Kang, you can't even really raise your voice or else she gets so nervous, and that you can't teach anything. You can't teach an animal when they're that scared and that nervous. And that's exactly one of the big things I've learned with human interaction from my dogs, directly from my dogs and training my dogs, is that sometimes you really got to just be gentle, just be nice. Don't, even if you're really, really mad and you want to yell and you want to make somebody know they did something bad, nobody's gonna learn anything, and nobody's gonna progress if they're scared, or if you're accusing them and making them angry. So to be gentle does not mean to get down on the floor and wiggle at somebody when they're not when you're arguing with them. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's important to not be so abrasive. And I'm a big guy, and I never realized how intimidating I can be, just for the sheer fact that I'm a big guy. Yeah, being a big guy to another big guy, usually you're not gonna be intimidating them. But however, being this broad-chested, overweight, like almost 6 foot tall guy to a tiny, lady, or a kid who's gotten picked on his whole life by people that look like me. That's what I'm talking about being gentle. You never know when. Um, Excuse me. You never know when you are going to come across somebody that needs not to be coddled, but needs a little extra, push to be outside, or a little extra push to communicate with somebody. We're all different in that way, and I can communicate with people pretty easy. I'm not actually that great at it. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to, and I used to not be like this at all. It's only as I got older I have become a little more socially inept, I guess is what I would call it. But I used to, be a punk kid. I used to go to house shows. I used to do all this crazy stuff, and I've gone through a lot of things since then in my head and in my life, and it's just gotten a little harder for me. But I can still communicate, and that's a huge reason I do Lego, is to have a community of people that I can talk to, and we support each other and all that. That's a huge reason I do Lego, is just the community aspect of it, and the fact that we're all here for each other. So again, I'm continuously mumbling. We got 3 on, so does anybody have any questions or antidotes, anything they want to say, anything they want to add? Everything's appreciated. I very much appreciate you, Figures Monthly, for getting on the horn and getting people to announce this live stream. I really appreciate that. It means so much. Yeah. So what's everybody doing? Is anybody watching football today? I'm not watching football. I don't know anything about it. I I've gone to some NFL games, and I played football in high school and this and that, but I am what, almost 31. I'm 31 at the end of March, and yeah, I really haven't paid attention to football in a long time. That's not to really say I don't like it. It's just not really my thing. I don't really like to go to bars, and I don't have cable, so uh, it's just one of those things. Um, but yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't watch the Super Bowl. I've watched the Super Bowl many years, but just not in the past few. Um, no football for you either. Baseball is my wife absolutely loves baseball. I'm just not a sports dude. I'm very I don't know. I would rather watch like a silly show. Like I really love ghost hunting shows and stuff like that, even though I'm a total skeptic. Like I always thought I would be a really, really good addition to those shows because I am such a skeptic. I feel like people people would like hear a noise and freak out, and I'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, get back here, calm down." Like I don't know. I've lived in some supposedly haunted houses when I lived, or at least one when I lived in Floyd, Virginia. And I lived in this big farmhouse that my mom was renting, and we only lived there for like 6 or 8 months. And yeah, I just I always thought it would be such a funny concept to have me as a member of one of those ghost hunting crews because I am such a skeptic about it, and I think it would be hilarious. I I don't know. That's the other thing though. I don't know if I could like not laugh when people were freaking out about whatever noise they heard. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Sports is really hard for me to get into. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I've been to some baseball games, I've been to football games, and it's always fun. I always have a good time going there. But you know, I just there's a lot of other things I would much rather do than watch. I am like totally not able to find this piece. I don't know if my eyes are going or what. But yeah, I don't know. Sports is just, I don't know. I have fun watching it when I do watch it. So let's just leave it at that. I'm not trying to offend anybody's sports teams, but I do know that the Patriots have been in the Super Bowl a whole bunch of times. I do know people are up in arms about that. Really? I need two of these pieces and I can't find. Yeah, exactly. It was just the AC. It's like uh, I've lived in 100-year-old houses, before, and it's just like houses make weird noises. It's not that's the thing. Like living in a really old farmhouse, like I said, when I lived in Floyd, Virginia, they were like, "Oh, there's supposed to be a ghost cat that haunts the one upstairs bedroom, and there's supposed to be like an old farmer who like walks around and this and that." Well, old pipes sound when they start knocking, they can sound like people knocking on walls or footsteps, and old furnaces and things like that can sound like people walking or knocking or this or that. It's just I don't know, people people here, and the house settling in general. Like my house is me and my wife me and my wife bought our house 2 years ago, and it was only about a year old before that. We were the first owners from the original owners to own it, and even this new house, like there's weird noises going on all the time because it's settling. It's the house is settling onto the foundation, and with temperatures, everything's expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting. It just makes me laugh to think that even here, I bet you could get the people on those shows to get shaken a little bit. I don't know if I'm missing a piece or what. I absolutely can't find this piece. But yeah, so we got 2 people left on there. All right. Did I miss something? I don't know. They missed something. Who knows? Oh, found one right there. Oh, found the other. Okay, well, I'm just an idiot then. But anyhow, yeah. So I know the 2 of you that are on here probably already know this, but yeah, this is for the Build in Bed project. So we're trying to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And we're trying to raise $1,000. Our goal is to do that within the next couple of months. Hopefully the sooner the better. The sooner we can meet our goal, the sooner we can raise money for other charities, and that's the goal here. So the Make-A-Wish the Make-A-Wish Foundation is what this benefits. The idea behind the Build in Bed project is we are building Lego in bed. We are doing live streams. We're talking about positivity and trying to bring a little light into people's lives. And we're building in solidarity with kids who might find it hard to get out of bed themselves. So like I said when I started, I really hope that we can get other people making these videos. I really hope that you use those hashtags, the Build in Bed Project and BIBP, hashtag BIBP, Build in Bed Project, and and that we just spread this around. We're just trying to raise money here for kids so they can make wishes and have them granted. It's $1,000 is not that much in the grand scheme of things, but it can make a huge difference in a sick kid's life. And that's our goal here. We're not trying to raise $1 million, although that would be absolutely amazing. We're just taking it slow and one donation at a time, and really trying to make this a grassroots movement where word of mouth and just the kind hearts of good people prevail, and we can just help some of these kids out. We are $120. We haven't gone up any since last week, which is fine. Like I said, I know it's going to be a long process to get this off the ground, and I am willing to put that work in. I'm willing to keep making videos and just going at it. Just trying to make sure that that we're doing the right thing, and that people keep coming here and are able to see what we're doing, and hopefully we'll believe in the cause and believe in the project, and we can make some wishes come true. That is the goal here. And yeah, so that's the shtick. That's what we're about here. That is what we're doing, and we are trying to get that going by building Lego in bed, and promoting and building Lego in bed with hopefully all the people that watch this afterwards, and with me right now. Hopefully the folks who are watching me right now are in bed with a nice Lego set to do on their own. And who knows, maybe next time or next week or something, or maybe one of these days soon, we'll have other videos from people that record themselves building in bed, and this can be a whole thing. And we can help so many people if we just band together. We are a huge community of Lego enthusiasts and fans of Lego, and we love it. And if each one of us can just help a tiny bit, we can make a huge difference in the lives of some sick children. And that's the thing, they'll never know who we are, and we'll never know who they are exactly, but you will know that you actually helped somebody, that the money that you gave and the time and effort that you put in was actually worth it, and that we actually did something beautiful. And that's what it really comes down to for me, is it's just knowing that you helped, knowing that maybe for just one kid you made them smile, or you know, gave them one thing that they want that they might not have otherwise. That's just so worth it to me. I don't, you know, I was raised very poor, and you know, I anytime, even just as a poor kid, not, I wasn't sick. I'm not claiming being poor and being sick are the same thing by any means. I'm just saying, anytime anybody, helped me get something that I wouldn't have, even as just on a financial level back then, meant so much to me. So, these kids that can't help it, these kids that they're sick and there's no reason for it, and, things just happen that way sometimes. I can't imagine how excited and ecstatic they will be when, when they get that help. That's the thing. Like, so many people helped me just as, a poor kid. So many people helped me get to where I am today, and this and that. I can't imagine what life would be like without those people. And so, oops. And so I'm hoping that this is the same thing for any kids we're able to help. I really just, I want everybody to be happy. I want the kids that can't help it to get what they need and get what they deserve. And nobody deserves to be sick. And it's, unfortunately, that's just the way things go sometimes. And anything we can do to alleviate a little bit of that is a step in the right direction. So what has everybody built recently? I see there's still 2 people left. What has everybody built recently? The last thing I built was probably that last live stream. That's not true. I built a couple of poly bags. I built the Emmett Hart poly bag, which I absolutely loved. And let's see here. I built a couple, for Christmas I got a couple. I'm also, like I've said this before in other videos, I'm a huge wrestling nerd. I absolutely love wrestling, and so my uncle for Christmas got me a couple of Lucha Libre minifigures. They're knockoff Lego minifigures, and I put those together and absolutely love them. But yeah, that would be one of my... That would just be so amazing for me if Lego did like a crossover with WWE. I know, absolutely, I would love to see that. Little Lego City speed car just recently. Awesome! You'll have to like DM me on Instagram a picture of that. I love those things. My wife works with cars, and we got a few of the like speed champion cars from the company that she works for, or the brand that she works for. And yeah, I can't wait to put those little speed champion videos together. Yeah. I got a couple of the, let's see, what's happened since last time. I got a couple more of the Lego Movie 2 CMFs. That was pretty cool. I did build those as well. I think we're up to 14 of the 20, so we need 6 more. We need the Abraham Lincoln looking guy. We need the, what else? What else do we need? We need the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow, and Dorothy. Yeah, the Abraham Lincoln guy, the Swamp Monster. What's the other one we need? Let's say there's one more that I need. I'm not sure, but I'll probably remember it here in a second. But yeah, I'm really excited about those. I can't wait to finish that set. The wife and I decided that last time with the Harry Potter ones and Series 19 that we found them and, you know, just we bought too many of them too quick, and, you know, 2 weeks into them being out, we were totally done with both of those sets. So we decided that we're just going to buy a couple here and there now until we have all of them to make it last a little longer. But yeah. If there's anybody on here, also anybody who watches later, let me know what the new CMF series you got. Like I said, I got, I think, 14 of the 16. I can't remember the last one that I'm missing, but yeah, I'm very excited about them. They look so cool. But the Unikitty, I don't know how they snuck that in there. And not only did they sneak that Unikitty in that set too, I feel like the quality of that Unikitty is much lower. It's much lower than the quality of the Unikitty for the Unikitty CMF builds. They took away that little spiky pointy piece that holds the head on just right and replaced it with just a stud, which, you know, you just touch the head and it rolls right off. I don't understand why they would sacrifice the quality of that of that. I guess it's a mini build. I don't even know if it counts as a minifigure, but they sacrificed the integrity of that neck part on there for what? I don't know. To put, like, not a piece like that? I don't know. I'm just being, you know, a curmudgeon about it, I guess. I don't know. I love Unikitty minifigures, don't get me wrong. I just think it's silly to do a whole line of 12 or whatever and then put them in the next CMF set as well. I've heard lots of rumors that there's going to be multiple different CMF sets this year, which I'm really excited about. Oh yeah, what you got? Wait, hold on. You got the minifigure, the new CMFs, or the Unikitty ones for $1? Cause that's amazing. Yeah, I bought them all like right when they first came out, and I don't know. I think they're just darn adorable. But yeah, you know, I've said it before, but I just compulsively buy Lego. Like, a lot of times I don't even think about it. I just buy them. So who knows? I'm sure my wife doesn't appreciate that aspect of me. Oh, okay. Old Unikitty ones? Yeah, those are rad. I do like those. That whole series was just very cute. I've never actually watched the TV show that they did for it, but, you know, I feel like if it's as cute as those minifigures are, I could get down with that. But who knows? I don't watch, like, kids shows too often like that. So, and you know, if you do, more power to you. I'm not judging at all. I'm just saying a lot of times I want to watch those shows, but I never get around to it. But yeah, I have no idea what that show is like, but I do know that those darn. What, did I miss something right there? I think I missed something right there. It's supposed to have two little guys on it. All right. But yeah, I don't know. If that show's any good, let me know. Somebody let me know, because I've never got around to it. I actually don't even know what network that comes on. I think it might be a Cartoon Network thing, but I'm not 100% sure. I was thinking about all the old Cartoon Network shows the other day that I used to watch. Yeah, so that's where like all those sets came from. They did a TV show. Like I said, I want to say it was Cartoon Network, but I could be 100% wrong on that. I'm really not sure. But I want to say, yeah, it was like the Unikitty show, and that's where all those new characters and stuff came from. So I have really no idea, but I want to say that happened. But yeah, so I was thinking about all these old Cartoon Network shows that I used to watch. Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. My back is angry at me right now. Um, but yeah, so I was thinking about all these old Hanna-Barbera and just Cartoon Network shows in general that I used to watch. I really miss them, like Cow and Chicken and Dexter's Laboratory and just like weird shows like that. Johnny Bravo, all these weird shows that just, I forgot about them, honestly. And a lot of old Scooby Doo. I used to watch the crap out of Scooby Doo when I was younger, and I loved it. I really loved. I started collecting shortly after the Scooby Doo Lego sets came out, and so I was able to get a couple of them before they got retired. And now I just wish I would have gotten them all. But back then, when you're first starting to collect again, it's really easy to convince yourself to not buy things. It's only once you've collected for a while that it just becomes this like compulsion to buy Lego constantly and go out and look for it, and it's really, I don't know, it can be detrimental if you're not careful, but I never put myself in financial disrepair. I always make sure I have enough money on for what I'm spending, and but I do spend too much often. I spend more than I should, and that's the that's the one bad thing about collecting Lego as an adult, is that you can really just, if you're financially capable, you just keep buying them, and you end up like me with a whole entire room full of Lego. And when me and my wife have recently started talking about having kids in the future and this and that, and it's like, what am I gonna do with all those Lego? It's like I'm not gonna get rid of them, but it's like, how do you sustain a collection like that, and make sure that kid doesn't like swallow some of those. I don't know, I worry and get weird about things like that all the time. So how do you do that? Yeah, I buy every single Lego. Like, I don't, and I'm gonna say this, but it's also partially a lie. I plan out a lot of Lego sets I'm gonna buy, but like most of the time it's not like I'm gonna plan on saving this much money for this. It's usually just like, okay, these are the 20 sets I'm gonna buy, and then over the next couple of months I buy them all, and then I wonder where all my money goes. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. But yeah, I really appreciate you sticking around. You both seem like y'all both have stuck around almost the entire stream. I really appreciate that. I hope more people watch this after the fact. I know 3 o'clock on a Sunday is kind of a strange time to do it, but my days off are Sundays and Mondays, and so if we can just get this, promoted even when it's not live, it'll be a very long video that anybody can watch at any time from, the hospital or wherever they are. Any kids, you can go and buy the set or go and get the set and, build along with me for the kids and stuff. And yeah, just I really want this. I really want this to work, and I really want to make a difference. So the fact that you guys stay around, even if it's just two of you this time, and that means the world to me, and I really, really appreciate the two of you so much. I'll do these, regardless of if I have one person, two person, I'll do them if I have 0 people. I just really believe in this, and I'm gonna keep doing it until until it catches on, I think. And hopefully that's sooner than later. But if it is later, then who knows? Maybe I'll find better ways to promote it, and who knows? I really believe in this, and I really, really appreciate you, Minifigures Monthly, and whoever that second person is, for watching. It means so much to me, and I want, to continuously tell you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means just the world to me, because this project is really important to me, and, yeah, just thank you very, very much. So I haven't built very many of these 3-in-1 builds, and I like them. It's not that I dislike them for any reason, but the other 2 that I've built have been pretty flimsy. So anybody who builds these regularly, let me know if that's kind of like a common theme for these. I feel like, I don't know, this one is actually well built. It seems like more than any of the other ones that I've done, this one is the most sturdy feeling. But again, it's not together all the way, so hopefully that's not the case once I finish it. But yeah, the other couple that I've built of these, I think I built 2 or 3 of them. They haven't been very sturdy, and I haven't been as impressed. This one, however, I love so far. I absolutely love this build as of now. Hopefully that doesn't change in the future. Yeah, I'm really digging it. And it seems like it's not going to just fall apart. And you already got this door part here, which can open and close and open and close. I think that's pretty rad. So does anybody have any plans for Valentine's Day? You can leave a comment down below, or the folks who are here right now, let me know. What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Anything exciting? Do you have a Valentine? Of course, mine is my wife. Yeah, I think I'm a chef, so I'm gonna be working all of Valentine's Day, and probably all day Valentine's Day, and then probably all weekend as well, just because that's one of the busiest weekends of the year. So we're gonna celebrate Valentine's Day next weekend, before Valentine's weekend, and we're gonna go to this sweet new restaurant created by a couple of my buddies' friends. called Alewife here in Richmond. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to see my friends from Alewife that work there, and yeah, I'm really pumped on their food. I really hope that it is as amazing and delicious as I think it's gonna be, and yeah, I really just hope that's yeah, I really hope that's a thing that happens and is good. We are definitely sorry. That was a text from my work, and I do not know the answer to that question, so I am going to continue to build. But but yeah, I'm just I'm really pumped on the alewife. I really my executive chef went there. It's like some people that he came up cooking with. He went there the other day and said how delicious it was, and I am just so pumped to go try it. I've actually never had one of the bigger chefs here in Richmond is named Lee Gregory. I've actually never had food by Lee, food that he's cooked or had a hand in, other than, you know, uh, restaurants that he used to work at. Like, I've been to a couple of the restaurants he used to be a part of, or one of the restaurants he used to be a part of, and it was good, but, at the same time, I don't even think I've met him. I've met a lot of chefs here in Richmond since I've been here, but I don't think I've met him. And so I'm very excited to just go in there and see what it's all about. I love trying new food. Let's see here. Does being a chef affect your opinion on food in general, or do you enjoy it more than anyone else when anyone else makes it? I it does. Like, I know the process, so it's like I know the process of cooking pretty well. So it's for me, it's like it's hard to do things like go and order a chicken dish off the menu, like because I know how cheap chicken is, and there's very few things you can do with chicken. Not to say like it in a bad way, but it's like chicken is cheap. So I'm not gonna go out and order a chicken dish. So things like that, it absolutely affects. But honestly, I feel like it makes me have an appreciation for food that that few people do. I absolutely love like 99% of all food. There's two things I don't eat. One, because I'm allergic. I'm allergic to shrimp. And that has just been recently. I used to like shrimp. I had no problem with it. It's just, it wasn't one of my favorites, but I used to eat it. And that I turned 29, and all of a sudden I was allergic to shrimp. So, cautionary tale there. You know, you can develop allergies at any time. Not to scare you or anything, but yeah, you can. And then the other thing I don't eat is raw tomatoes. I've never liked them. My father is the exact same way. I can eat them in a salad. I can eat them on a BLT, but like just the idea of taking a bite of a raw tomato makes me cringe a little bit. And my wife absolutely loves tomatoes, so it's not, I'm not like weirded out by them for, anybody else eating them. But yeah, it's just those are the only two things I don't eat. And but yeah, I absolutely love food, and I appreciate the heck out of it. And when people show innovation, I recognize it, and I'm not. I don't go. I don't appreciate people coming in to my restaurant and being crappy about my food. So it's like I don't do that most of the time to other people. I'm very open to almost every kind of food, and I absolutely love almost everything if it's done well. So, a lot of people ask me all the time, they say, what is your favorite food, or what is your favorite things to eat? And it's just the same as everybody else. I like juicy burgers, and I like pizza, and I like tacos, and it's just because I'm a chef doesn't mean I don't like to eat all the delicious food that everybody knows is delicious. Like I don't get snooty about it. That's the thing. And I feel like some chefs definitely do get snooty about food, and I just think it's such a silly way to live. Why? Why does that? Why be snooty about something? If something tastes good, I don't care. It tastes good, and I feel like that's something we all need to just get on board with because good food tastes good. It's just it does I mean, as silly as that is to say, it's just some people want to poo-poo salad, or some people want to poo-poo duck, or stuff like that. But it's just like, if it tastes good, then what does it matter? Like, really, like, people have these like weird opinions about things that are baseless, really, sometimes, and it's just silly. It's like, oh, I tried this one time and I hated it. Well, maybe the next time you'll eat it, or maybe the next time you'll enjoy it. It's like my wife and I. She doesn't like olives at all. I love olives. So every year she tries olives to hope maybe that's the year that she likes them. Every single year I try tomatoes. Throughout the year I try tomatoes. If tomatoes come on something, I'm not going to ask. And that's one thing I will never do. I never go into a restaurant, and if something, if a chef has created something, I'll never be like, can I have that without the tomatoes? That to me, I would never do that. If a chef created something, now if it's an allergy, I have no problem with that, because I'm not trying to make somebody sick, and it's not, my ego is not big enough to think that I can't change something and still make it good. It's so silly. As a chef, you learn to work on your feet. You gotta be able to change things and make little tweaks so the population can eat it. It's not, you know, any chef who's like, oh, no modifications. That's just the ego showing. That's not a smart way to be. You're cutting out so many people when you act like that, and you cut out so many people that could be enjoying delicious food that your hands have made. Just for what? For nothing, really. You want to say, oh, it's not going to taste as good. Well, that seems like it's your problem then. If you can't take gluten out of something and still make it taste good, then that sounds like your shortcoming as a chef. It does it doesn't sound like anything but just your ego getting in the way of delicious food. And it's not hard to make delicious food. One of my old bosses, as poorly as things ended with us, when I left his restaurant, he always had this saying. He was like, anybody can apply heat to meat. Anybody can apply heat to protein. And I very, very much agree with that. Anybody can do that. It's not hard to be a chef, and with the different advantages that younger chefs have than people who have been doing it for a long time. Like I've been cooking for 15 years. Is that right? I've been cooking for 15. I started when I was 16. I've been cooking for 15 years now. And and I'm learning constantly. I'm constantly learning new things, and I'm constantly, trying to see how other people are doing it so I can, improve my own dishes and my own techniques and this and that. And it's just such a silly thing to be so egotistical about. Like, the best chefs in the world are the ones that can teach you. The best chefs in the world are the ones that say, hey, here's this recipe I've been working on. Let's all try it, and then all try to figure out how to make it better. That's what being a chef is about. It's not necessarily about who can make the best food. It's like who can inspire people the most. Who can make that next chef want to make something even better? Who can make that next chef, have that lights on idea, or a light bulb idea. Um, it's just it's not about ego to me, and a lot of chefs are gonna hear that and get upset that I've said that, and okay, that's fine. Like I don't need I don't I what I need is I need people that care. That's I will never I'm not gonna be a jerk about cooking. That's yeah, 15 years is a long time, and that's partially why my back's so messed up. That's partially why my mental health, I've put so much of myself into that industry. Partially why my mental health is so bad. It's just sometimes it's not bad now, but yeah, I've put so much of me into cooking, and I've cooked a lot of different kinds of food, and I'm all the time trying to think of different ways to do the food that I love, and that's, I think, what the best chefs do is they're not really, yeah, like innovation, and that is always appreciated in a kitchen, but really what it comes down to is making the food you love. Like, if I if I wasn't making food that I believed in, then I would be so much more miserable. Like, I might work 10 to 12 hours or 10 to 14 hours every day, and I could be miserable doing that, cooking food that I don't believe in, and cooking food that isn't good to me, or I could cook food that I believe in and go to work every single day and be proud to do that 15 hours, be proud to do that 12 hours, that 10 hours, whatever it takes. And that's really what it's about. It's like, cooking is such a passion. It's like, art form that you eat. And I'm not saying that each plate needs to look like art, because a lot of times I've found that, the most beautiful plates I've ever seen in my life, that I'm like, should I eat that or picture that? Take a picture of that. Most of the, they don't taste as good as a plate that's like piled high sometimes, and you can tell that there's some love put into that. Sometimes, you sacrifice taste for art, and I don't agree with that either. I'm a Southern chef. I like to cook hearty food that will stick to your ribs and make you always remember that flavor profile. And yeah, I mean that's my whole cooking shtick. I don't have I'm not a huge, like I said, I'm not a huge jerk about it. I don't, I will eat McDonald's along with the rest of people. I don't care. I will eat whatever. I like food. I like anything if it tastes good, and I'm not saying, McDonald's is the best, but I'm saying double cheeseburger from McDonald's or a McDouble from McDonald's. I'm saying that's delicious, and there's no shame in my game about that. And so it's just the foods that you like and the foods that taste good to you are, what makes people people. It's not, we all grew up eating whoever in our lives foods, whoever cooked for us when we were growing up, and I really feel like a lot of times that will always be your favorite food from then on, and that's fine. That's great. I grew up eating my mother's food, and so variations on my mother and my grandmother's food are what I know and what I cook probably the majority of the time. And so yeah, so that's that. So that is, oh my goodness, I am very stiff. My back is very, very much hurting right now. So that's the build. That it looks really nice. I'm gonna put all these extra pieces here. Put this little guy here. And that is that. Looks sweet as heck, I know, right? So yeah, so let's talk about the raffle real quick. there's only 2 people left, or there's only 2 people on here with me right now. So I'm gonna announce it to y'all, and you can tell people, or we can wait for other people to watch this later on. But yeah. So this is my auction, or not my auction, my raffle. All right. So I got this guy right here. He is a Kessel mine worker. This was exclusive to Barnes and Noble. This can be yours for $1 donated to the GoFundMe page. So what we're gonna do is, after 1 month, everybody who donates $1, and you gotta put, in the comments of that, you gotta put Kessel Mine Worker. You have to put a Kessel Mine Worker raffle, and that $1 will get you entered into the raffle. We're gonna run this until the end of February, so the last day of February will be the last day you can enter, and however many dollars you donate is however many entries you'll get. So $1 gets 1, $5 gets 5 entries, and yeah, we'll run that until the end of the month. On the first day of March, we will do a drawing over on my Instagram page, and whoever wins will get one of these sent to them. So that is the raffle. I will probably announce that on my Instagram as well. So yeah, that is that. $1 gets you 1 entry into the raffle. Just go to the GoFundMe page. All the links are below there. I believe it's gofundme.com/build-in-bed-project. And yeah, enter to win this raffle. $1 gets you 1 entry. $5 gets you 5. 20 gets you 20. Whatever you want. But yeah, so whoever wins that will be announced on March 1st, and that is the raffle. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being a part of this Minifigures Monthly. Thank you for putting, the call out there, the call to action for the pages to share the countdown and everything on Instagram. I really appreciate it. Anything you do to promote this, any videos you make, like just hashtag them building bed projects, so we can find all of these in the same place, and we can look at all of these, and maybe in a couple of years go back and be like, we were really part of something beautiful. So thank you again. I really, really appreciate you guys, and I really hope that we can help some kids. So yeah, thank you again. Have a wonderful day, and as always, happy building. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.